Welcome back to our city. I'm pleased to be joined this week by the Councilman of the 3rd Ward, Councilman Joeseph Keenan. Councilman, one of the things we were talking about before the break was neighborhood meetings.
Right.
And maybe you can just rattle off the 3 neighborhood meetings that you have and the nights they're scheduled in case anybody's interested in where they are.
Yes, the first one is the Epworth Church Block Watch meeting, which is the first Thursday of every month. The second is the Elmore Branch Library Block Watch meeting, which is the 4th Wednesday of every month. And then the Elmore Racquet Club meeting is the 4th Thursday of every month.
And
they all meet at 7 o'clock, by the way.
They all meet at 7, that's all 7 o'clock, same time. Mm-hmm. And changing gears a little bit from neighborhood groups, one of the things we learned through neighborhood meetings and through phone calls is Vernon Avenue, Gephardt, and the flooding problems that exist. And there's a new $5.5 million sewer project that has taken us a long time to put the financing together, the necessary permits from the state, but the preliminary work is getting done, as you know, and it's scheduled to break ground at the end of the month. What do you think this is going to do for the residents in that area?
This is so important, Mayor. From the time that I campaigned 4 years ago until now, the residents there affected by this are devastated. Every time there's a cloud in the sky, they're very, very fearful that their basement is going to be flooded. And I need to thank you for your backing and support to get this project done. This is a big project.
Well, it wouldn't have got done without your support on City Council because it works both ways.
It works both ways, and I appreciate that. But this is a big project for a ward councilman to be dealing with. And thank goodness, when this process is done, and I understand from Director of Public Works John Papetti that probably by the end of February, beginning of March, we'll actually be beginning this thing, that this thing will go a long way to resolve this nightmare that some people on Vernon and Gephardt Avenues have had.
Similar to what was going on Harding Road when you first became a councilman. There were some major issues on the 1000 block of Harding Road, and those people haven't had water in their basement now in 4 years.
They're very, very pleased. And there's another project that's coming down the line. That's at Park Avenue in Elmore Avenue. If you go up and down Park Avenue and Bellwood Place, you go up and down Park Avenue after heavy rain. At some intersections, you see some ponding there. And this project, which is small, $1.5 million is not small. That's a lot of money. But again, to those affected residents, this is going to mean quite a bit.
That should also alleviate part of the problem up on Princeton and Park.
That's right.
Or Hillside and Park on the other side.
That project at Elmore and Park is going to have beneficial results all the way up to Hillside and Park,
The Elmore Racquet Club has been a huge asset to the 3rd Ward, and when it was renovated in 2007, what kind of feedback do you get from that?
Phenomenal. The residents of Elmore love the Racquet Club. You and I both remember the old Racquet Club with the 2 tennis courts, and it was fine. But the building itself is gorgeous, and it's really the playground that is such an attraction. Because when people in the neighborhood want to go out and just walk to a nearby location for their children to play on playground equipment, there's no better place. It's state-of-the-art, it's beautiful, it's friendly, people have a good time, they're very neighborly. It's just a wonderful community thing. And you don't often think about that kind of neighborliness in big cities anymore, but here's a case where we really have it, and it's just a wonderful
And the Orthodox community, which does not drive on Saturdays as they respect the Sabbath, clearly a lot of the young parents walk their children, even some of the grandparents are out there with their grandkids on a Saturday.
Absolutely, and the park is called, the Racquet Club is called Shabbos Park, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful resource for people. It's a special way of saying, you know, you understand the needs of a community and you're able to come to some accommodation because, again, as you indicated, people cannot drive on Saturday, so this is very important.
Well, we had our neighborhood meetings there regarding the School 21 construction, which is, with your input, is now moving forward. And maybe you can talk about some of those meetings you helped chair in order to move School 21 along.
Well, there's no doubt that the whole School 21 reconstruction has been somewhat of a disaster. What is it, 5 years now? I don't know what it is. But finally, you and I have been able to bring this back on track. After discussions with you, you decided to reach out to Trenton to see if we could get some representatives from the school construction company. We did, and now the school is under construction because I see work going on now. The thing is that the school is scheduled to be opened in September of 2011. And people who currently have their children in other city schools will have the option of either keeping their children in those schools or bringing them back. A lot of people are not happy with the design, not happy with the delays, not happy with the fact that we didn't have any input into this project. But having said that, there's no doubt that with a brand new state-of-the-art school in the 3rd Ward, that it's going to be a tremendous asset.
It's going to be a neighborhood school as well.
It's going to be a neighborhood school, which means that people in the 3rd Ward will be the persons eligible to go there. Years ago, my son went to School 21 as a gifted and talented program. That program went from kindergarten through grade 6. This one will go through pre-K through grade 8. And the wonderful thing about that is that now, as a mom or dad living in the area, or as somebody who's considering moving to Elmore, they can confidently know that their child is going to be in the neighborhood through 8th grade, which is a wonderful thing, because that was a bit of a tricky problem prior to that.
Yeah, Councilman Grover last week talked about the 2 new schools in his neighborhood where he would have liked to see more of a neighborhood concept. You're going to get that, but he's got a lot of busing going on, but you're going to get the neighborhood concept. Yeah,
we're going to have absolutely, as I understand it, no busing whatsoever. And residents do have a concern about the size of the school. The school is much smaller than some of the other schools that have been going up in other parts of the city. It's still a much bigger school than was there before. But the thing that's mitigating in favor of it is that all of the children who will be going there are right from the immediate blocks around. So the problem is going to be accommodating parking for teachers. But on the whole, it's much better to have a beautiful new state-of-the-art school than not. I can't imagine the Elmore section up there without a viable pre-K through 8 school.